I'm glad you used the word engagement. That's a good word that comes right from the documents of the Second Vatican Council. In the beautiful teachings of the Second Vatican Council, which are so normative for us today, they use that word engagement to characterize the way pastors and bishops should react to culture and to civic officials and to our politicians. So rather than confrontation, it would be engagement, and that's kind of a trusting dialogue where you speak very cogently, but where there's always a sense of openness. I think in those areas are pivotal ones that the church has a very compelling moral message, and you could look to me as you've looked to Cardinal Egan and his predecessor and all the way back to be very compelling in articulating the clear teaching of the ingrained law and that God has put into the human heart and in the tradition of the church and the teaching of our Lord and the sacred scriptures. I think the cue here has been, Lauren, has been set by both Cardinal Francis George, who's the Archbishop of Chicago, and also the President of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. He had a remarkable letter to President Obama. Perhaps you're familiar with it, and if not, I'm sure Joe can provide it. That was beautifully engaging, and he wished our president well. He promised him the prayers of the Catholic community. He outlined areas where he would look forward to collaboration and an alliance. But he also said, Mr. President, there are issues about which we feel very passionately and very deeply, and among those, premier would be the civil rights of the most fragile member of our society, namely the baby in the womb. And you could also count on us to speak, not to be hoarse and lose voice if we feel that part of our engagement is to remind you of our sentiments in that regard. I think he's articulated it well. Lauren, I would look forward to that. I think our Holy Father just recently, you're probably aware last week, he met with the Speaker of the House and once again did what I thought was a very gracious conciliatory gesture of saying you can count on our prayers and support. There's so many issues that you'll find the church on your side, but we also have to speak up for the most defenseless in our society, especially when it comes to defending the culture of life.